going on, everybody? It's Overjoyed, coming at you with a brand new video, and I literally just got back from like an hour, 15-minute long walk. I am covered in sweat because it's super humid down here in Texas, and the first thing I did was boot up OBS and start to record, because while I was on that walk, we seem to have gotten some new stuff out of Rage of the Abyss. Again, not Mermail support just yet, still got a chance, but in fact, it's Six Samurai support of all things, which is a bit strange, especially when you consider how much support Six Sam has gotten already. Like, it's gotten a lot of waves of support, and they're all, like, kind of different in their own way, almost like Gen X, but not bad. But I've always really liked this deck, at least messing around with it, with like the FTK stuff. I think it's pretty funny to skip people with the world, and one of the only decks that can do it reliably. But with Isolde gone, the deck just kind of became a lot worse. I mean, it was already not like even tiered, but it was still something pretty fun. But now without Isolde, it's kind of whatever. But we're getting, I think, 4, maybe 5 new support cards. I think 4, and I think 2 of them are Synchros, which is interesting. And I'm pretty excited to see what we get. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first card here is Anarchist Monk of the Six Samurai. It is a level 3 Dark Warrior tuner with 500 attack and 0 defense. You can only special summon it with its first effect once per turn, and you can only use the second and third effect once per turn. Also, I'm sorry about the big ad at the bottom. Organization has been messing with me when I turn my ad block on, and yeah, now we have to see these big bricky ads at the very bottom, so sorry about that. But it says if you control a Six Samurai other than itself, you can special it from your hand. If it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Six Samurai quick play spell from your deck to your hand, and a Six Samurai Synchro, using this card as material, gains this effect. The levels of all monsters your opponent controls are reduced by 1. Wow, so this archetype actually has a lot more quick plays than I thought, and I'm pretty sure all of them are bad. Yeah, they're not great, really. So I'm assuming they're gonna get a new, like, actually decent one. But, I mean, Search Power is pretty cool here. Really easy extender. It's a level 3 tuner. Really good for the deck. So that could be pretty cool, and I don't think Six Sam's ever gonna complain about more extenders by just controlling a Six Sam. The other new main deck monster is Instructor of the Six Samurai. It is level 2 Earth Warrior tuner with 200 attack and 1200 defense. You can only special summon its first effect once per turn. You can only use the second and third effect once per turn. If you control a Six Samurai other than itself, you can special summon it from your hand. If it's sent to the field of the graveyard, you can add a 6 strike card from your deck to your hand, and a 6 Samurai monster Synchro summon using it as material gains its effect. Monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. So currently there are 2 6 strike cards. One of them is actually not like the worst thing ever, funnily enough. If you control 3 or more face-up 6 Sams, you can either nuke all your opponent's monsters, back row, or set back row. Face-up back row or set back row. And then they have a trap card that kind of functions like an Icarus attack, which isn't awful. Or a compulse, actually, so that's not even terrible. Again, another really solid extender, decent floating effect, and also not like a super impactful, but makes it easier to OTK effect for the Synchro monster. Speaking of Synchro monster, the first one of the 2 Synchro monsters they're getting is legendary Clesia Samurai En. It is level 6 Dark Warrior Synchro with 2500 attack and 1900 defense. It requires 1 Warrior tuner and 1 or more non-tuner 6 Sams, and you can only use the first effect once per turn. If it's Synchro summoned, you can add a 6 Samurai or a Shien effect monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect quick effect, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that monster, and if the card on the field will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one other monster you control instead. So it's basically just the regular Shien, but for monsters, as I think someone actually told me in my notifications. But it's also got kind of like a mini gateway effect, where on summon, you get to add a 6 Sam or a Shien from your deck or graveyard, which makes it really easy to get the Great Shogun Shien to prevent your opponent from activating more than 1 spell or trap, which is cool. And the second Synchro is legendary Clesia Six Samurai Enishi. It is level 6 Light Warrior Synchro, 700 attack and 1200 defense. That requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner, so it is generic. It can only use the first and third effect once per turn. If it's Synchro summoned, you can banish any number of 6 Samurais from your graveyard, then target that many monsters your opponent controls and return them to the hand. Warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense during the battle phase only, and if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one of your banished 6 Samurai monsters. So it's completely generic, has some really solid removal because it is targeting, but it's just bouncing, and all you have to do is banish 6 Sams, which you're gonna have a lot of 6 Sams in your graveyard. It's got OTK potential, and also some pretty solid floating, and keep in mind just a set period, so I guess technically if you have a way to send it from the extra deck, if your opponent sends it from the extra deck using, like, I don't know, Crusadia Maximus or whatever, then that does also trigger it to summon a banished 6 Sam. Really good card. And the final card is actually both a quick play and a 6 strike card for both of the new searchers, being 6 strike double assault. It says you can only use 1 of its effects per turn only once that turn, and apply 1 in sequence, or if you control 2 or more 6 Sams, you can apply both in sequence. Special summon a 6 Samurai with 2,000 or less attack from your hand or graveyard, or change a monster your opponent controls 2,000 or less attack to face down defense position. Also, during your main phase, you can banish it from your graveyard to target a 6 Sam in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So it's either an extender, or a disruption, or both if you control 2 or more 6 Sams. And also, you have this ability to be really good recursion for the deck in a deck that otherwise has kind of a mediocre grind game and usually focuses on making a really big unbreakable turn 1 board using its infinite combo. A fairly solid card to wrap up the support. And that's going to do it for the 6 Sam support. What do I think about it? I was actually told they were mediocre overall, but I think these are really strong. You got 2 new really good tuner extenders that you can just use either for tuning or you can use it for making your not Great Shogun, but Battle Samurai, I think it is, the one that searches Gateway. Because, I mean, again, 6 Samurai is not going to complain about more extenders just by controlling 6 Samurai monsters. Also got some decent effects to give the 6 Samurais, so this is pretty cool. Also some pretty cool searching. You also have this to grab the brand new 6 strike card, and you can use this to grab either that one or another one, being either the Icarus attack / compulse, or even the field nuke if you really want to get it. And then both the new Synchros are really good. Shien's an amazing endboard piece, and then Anishi really helps you go for the throat with that extra like removal as well as the stat boost. Plus you have things like Kizan, I think it is, the one that specials itself from hand that can get more attack as well. You have a bunch of ways to OTK with this deck, and this makes it so much easier. Finally, Double Assault is a pretty decent card. I mean, it's a board breaker or / disruption. It's also an extender if you control a second one, or, you know, just vice versa. And then also it has some amazing recursion. I don't know if this will make 6 Sam actually viable in a competitive sense, at least while we're in such a powerful, like, high power level tier 0 format. But I think this is pretty damn solid, but I don't know, that's just my opinion. Leave it down in the comments below, because that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like, as I'll split this video and the channel into the YouTube recommended. And if this content rest like it, like the rest of my review series, then perhaps consider subscribing and answering your notifications, because support just more anything else, and it's absolutely free. Plus, we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Also, who support you directly and getting some awesome TCG merchandise in the process, check out Tapio cards and link down below. Use code Aurora5 for 5% off your purchase at checkout, and support me financially. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.